I love to act. Acting is, in a sense, the grandest lie. And it's not even a sin. Okay, and in a way it is, but in a way it isn't, because it's just lying. It's lying for the amusement of others, like telling a joke. Those things didn't actually happen, but you're just presenting them as they did, and everyone knows that they didn't, but, you get me, you understand. It is the grandest lie. It is living within an imaginary situation that is not actually happening. Okay, so a few days ago, on my Snapchat, I wasn't sure what to do about this big party I was going to go to. And so I posted on my story, hey, does anyone want to see this grand old party that this rich guy's hosting down by Canisius Lake? Stuff like that. My dad's singing there. It happened. I didn't remember to record my dad doing it, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever. Anyway, I also asked for people on my Snapchat to maybe ask me a question, something for the next video, because I've been tired of just doing vlogs. I miss doing stories, and every time I think about doing a story time, I never remember a story to do, and whenever I'm whenever I'm doing anything else, I keep on remembering this one thing that happened to me a while ago that would make a great story time. But to honor my arrangement with this person who suggested that I do this, I'm gonna tell a couple stories that convinced me that acting is what I want to do with my entire life. Acting, being an entertainer, something like that. It was middle school. It was my 7th grade year. I was cast as Mr. Washburn in our production of The Music Man. Our director, we'll call her Miss Johnson, because we'll call her Miss Johnson. She was getting really upset with the older kids in our troupe because they started to slack off. They just, quote unquote, lost their spark that she witnesses within the youngins, the young 6th graders coming up. And while she's doing this rant, I'm off in my own little world because that's who I am. I'm just off in my own little world. I'm walking around the set in my costume as if that I'm actually living in Iowa at the time of the show. I'm doing that. And then this miss breaks out of her rant and points to me and says, "You see that right there? He's not even rehearsing any lines and he still believes that he's in Iowa. He really believes he's Mr. Washburn. Why can't any of you older kids believe in such a thing like that? Why don't you believe the way that he does?" That felt awesome, being an example to the older kids of what being an actor is about, or how to be a good actor. Is just to fully believe believe in what you are supposed to be doing, which is something that you need to either be born with or learn very soon, or else acting just won't appeal to you. The next instance, when I realized acting is what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, is freshman year of high school. I was a wide-eyed freshman walking into the hallowed halls of Frontier High School. I signed up for the fall production of Midsummer's Jersey, which is a fun take on William Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream, but set in modern-day New Jersey, with all the modern amenities and yada yada yada. But there's still some magic involved, some mystical forces at play. One mystical force at play was the character that I got to play, a character by the name of Puck, a wood nymph, an elf, if you will, whose very existence is merely to be a trickster. But he's also the right-hand man of the fairy king Odeon. Yep, Shakespeare. Odeon. Who thinks like that? Who else but Shakespeare? Okay. So I got to play Puck, and I didn't realize it till the very end of the production time, like the very last day when we were doing the bows, that I had a really big role, and that I was, to an extent, talented at this whole acting thing. And I thought, I'm talented at this. I finally found something I'm good at. After all these years of being scrutinized for not being able to catch a dang ball, I couldn't catch a sport ball for my life because my eyes just never wanted to work together. Like, depth perception and coordination were never fantastical. They never were good enough at a young age to merit any interest in sports and sport ball related activities. So I finally found something that I was good at. I tried theater in middle school because my friends were doing it. All my friends from elementary school were doing it. Because when you go into middle school, all the classes are just split up all over the place. You're never with the same kids from elementary school. So all my kids from elementary school were doing the show. So I was doing them for that. And I had a little fun with that. That was fun. Lots of fun. Then I came to high school, and I'm actually good at it. I'm so good that they gave me a lead role as a freshman. Sure, it's the play. It's the fall play, so it's nothing too crazy big like a spring musical. But it's still pretty big. As a freshman, that's awesome. And that's another instance where I thought, man, I should probably do this acting thing for a living. What is I want to do this for the rest of my life. Another time, excuse me, I dropped something. There we go. Another time that I realized that acting isn't what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I was in a production of Carousel. It was with the West Seneca Youth Theater. You know, the troupe that I was talking about, that I was doing a show with last week. The West Seneca Youth Theater, I did a production of Bring It On. But this was a couple of years ago when we were doing a production of Carousel. And for those who don't know what Carousel is, it's a story about a man who is really mean to his wife. And when he dies right before his daughter is born. And the whole premise of most of the second act is that he gets a second chance. He gets to go down as a quote-unquote angel and try to make amends with his daughter that he's never met and his wife that he treated terribly. And it's a great story of love and compassion and all that good sappy goodness that we go to the theater to see. See, my character in that show was the foil to the mean husband. I was Mr. Enoch Snow. What a great role. I get to use my high chipper New Jersey accent just a little bit, a little Jewish there, just throw it in there just a little bit. Lots of fun, had lots of fun. I had a very fun song. When the children are asleep, we'll sit and dream. Oh, I love that song so much. I sing it to myself every so often just to make myself feel better, remind myself of the happier days. Anyway, it's opening day. And that afternoon, was opening night. I wake up that morning around 3 o'clock, stumble to the bathroom and hurl in it. I hurl right into the toilet. I throw up. I had to miss school that day. I vomited a lot that day, also. Also the first day that I ever considered drinking one of those Powerade beverages, sports drink, because apparently when you throw up, you lose a lot of electrolytes, and in order to get healthy fast, which I needed to because I had a show that night, you need to drink a lot of electrolytes. To this day, I haven't been able to get a sports drink to taste that good ever again. Those are just tasteless and bland. They taste awful. The Gatorade, Powerade, all the AIDS. AIDS are bad. Don't do AIDS. So yeah. I did that show very much sick, about to pass out between every single scene that I was in. I remember sleeping halfway through the midpoint of, I believe, the first or second one. And when the bells came on the first night, I accidentally, zoned out in the middle of my bow, so I'm just kind of just standing there while the rest of the people who were bowing in the same line as me go back. I'm just standing there almost fall over, and then I realized everyone backed up. I'm like, oh, then I gotta get up and join the rest of the cast. And I thought to myself, I'm really that dedicated to this particular thing. I was hurling, and I didn't call it quits. I didn't call it quits, even though I was sicker than a dog. That was the OP plague. The Orchard Park plague. And I got it, conquered it, and was still able to do the show. I am destined, if you will, to be a great actor. And that was the nail in the coffin. That was the time. That was the instance that I realized down in the very depths of my soul that I was going to be an actor. Watch out, world, because here I come, a straight white man on a mission. Thanks for watching. Also, you want to hit up my Snapchat. The Snap code is actually the icon in the bottom corner right there. And that's it. Just want to hit my Snapchat. The end card has all the rest of my information. Glean any of that you want. Other than that, let's see. I've got nothing else to say. Alright. See you next time.